Yes. Good morning and welcome back to the Football Terrace. Thank you very much for tuning in. The big game tomorrow, Man United, Chelsea. We gave you a brilliant in-depth preview last night. The team, Neats, Monster, Have Hope back in the house, KJ, Danny, Neeks, and of course, man like Aaron, all in the house, giving you a beautiful, wonderful preview. But this morning, we're over to you, the viewers. We're over to you this morning. Combined 11, Manchester United, Chelsea. We're going to take your calls. We're going to go through your super chats. We're going to do everything. We're going to do everything to let you have your say in terms of a combined 11. The formation is going to be simple. 4-2-3-1. Both clubs play it on a regular basis. It keeps things nice and easy. Let's not go off track. Before we do that, though, we said over the last few days that YouTube is barely sending out notifications when we go live. Most of you don't know when new content goes out. What we are doing is creating a newsletter. We're going to be giving away a freebie once a month. First month, we're going to be giving away a brand new Rode condenser mic and a brand new 1080p Logitech webcam to one lucky viewer. We're going to do a competition and give them away. We haven't created the newsletter yet, but what you can do in the meantime to get ahead of the game, in the link in the description below is the email address connected to this YouTube channel, which is terryflewers@gmail.com. Send us an email with your email address if you're interested in signing up. We'll keep you up to date with news and information. We want to create a brilliant mailing list, a wonderful newsletter that's going to be attached to our website that's currently in development. That way we can personally keep you updated as and when the Football Terrace has new content for you, shows coming out, and keeping you abreast of what's going on. So do us a big favor. Whether you do it right now, take 2 minutes to do it, or do it afterwards, make sure you send us in that email to let us know where you're at in relation to that. The newsletter information is coming soon as well. And as I say, first month, we're going to give away a brand new Rode condenser mic and a brand new 1080p webcam. I know loads of you like to make your own content as well. So that's going to be one of the first things we give away. Before we go any further, hitting that like button as well. I cannot stress to you enough. If every single one of you hits it and we go past 1,000 likes, that helps to get the video pushed out to new people. So please press that for us now. We've got to fight back against this. It's the only way we're going to keep the channel going and above water. And I think we've sorted the echo problem out as well because I've turned my microphone around the other way. Yesterday, I was talking to it from this direction and it was more echoey. I was doing it wrong. There we go. Let's delve into this now. Let me take a little sip on my cup of char. Just give me a second to have a little sip of that because this morning's show is going to be interesting. Strip Bear here with Super Chat says, come on, the mighty Chelsea. Well, here we go. Let's go through it. We'll start with the goalkeeper, first of all. Goalkeeper. I'm going to go with what I think are going to be the easy positions here. Goalkeeper, we know, is going to be David De Gea. There's no issues with that whatsoever. Other than that, I don't think it's easy. So we're going with David De Gea in goal. Right back, Reece James or Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Who are we going with? Who are we going with in this regard is a big one for me. Reece James is talented, excellent going forward, no doubt, and a good defender. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is good going forward, but is a world-class defender for me. And I'm sorry to say this, Chelsea fans, proof's always in the pudding. Something was interesting for me is that a lot of Liverpool fans said you can't even talk about Trent versus AWB until we see AWB in the Champions League. We see AWB in the Champions League up against one of the top 5, two of the top 6, top 7 players in the world, and he absolutely silenced them, in my opinion. I'm going with AWB in that position. It's just non-negotiable to me. Absolutely non-negotiable at all. I'm not even going to debate it. Left back. And what I'm going to breeze through mine, and then we're going to take your phone calls on this. Get your super chats in as well. Left back, I'd love to put Alex Telles in it, but I haven't seen enough of him play. I can't put Luke Shaw in it, so I am going to go with Ben Chilwell in the left back position. I think Ben Chilwell's excellent. I think he deserves it. But listen, Ben Chilwell, do you want to comb with that? Mr. Whippy is on the way for you, bro. He's on his way for you. He really is. Centre backs. Maguire is one of them. No doubt about it. Maguire walks into the Chelsea team every single day of the week and twice on a Sunday. No doubt about it. Harry, the captain Maguire, walks into their team. El Slabhead. Trust me, bruv. Trust me, he's walking straight into that team. There's no doubt. No doubt. He's walking into that team. He's bowling in. He's sliding in. He's sliding in like AWB into the DMs, bruv. He's coming straight in. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Next to him's a tough one. It's not going to be Lindelof. Victor, Vindersov, he ain't in the team. Rudiger not in the team. Christensen not in the team. It's between Zuma and Tuanzebe. Zuma or Tuanzebe? Who we going with, people? That's the one I want to know from you on. Zuma or Tuanzebe? Who we going in? Who's going into the team? And I'm picking this team partly on form or partly on overall quality. So who we going with? I'm looking at these comments here. Tuanzebe's getting a lot of love here, Thiago Silva. Oh, that's a good shout. I forgot about Thiago Silva. Do you know what? Listen, you're right, actually. We'll throw Thiago Silva in there next to him. So far, De Gea, AWB, Silva, Maguire, Chilwell. And Chilwell's in there mainly because Alex Telles hasn't played a Premier League game yet. Alex Telles is going to destroy Chilwell this season, bruv. 100%. Pivot. Who's holding the midfield? I'm throwing in Kante. I've got to throw Kante in there. Love him. Comment here. A super chat here says Eric Bailly is the best centre-back at the club when fit. No, he isn't. He simply isn't the best centre-back. He's marginally better than Victor Lindelof when fit. There's no doubt about it. The one thing he has that I think people impresses me, he's got the athleticism. He's got the speed that Lindelof hasn't got. But technically, he's not a better defender. He's not a better passer. He just isn't. Next to Kante in the double pivot. I really want to pick Paul Pogba, but I can't. I've got a guy, Fred. Fred just recently has been phenomenal in that role. And if you're going to play a double pivot, I think they need to be defensively minded, especially with who we've got in the attacking fronts, especially with the attacking options of Chilwell and AWB coming from the flanks as well. Kovacic is good. Fred's better. If you lined up Fred and Kovacic next to me and said, pick one right now for your team, I'm picking Fred every single day. Pass to Fred. He's coming in 100% for me on that one. Top Dog here says Kovacic plays tennis, Terry. No, he's just not as good as Fred for what I want. Jem, stop with the Kovacic all day. Brother, your manager don't even pick Kovacic all day. Two of the most important games this season for Man United. Who does Ollie turn to? Pastor Fred in the team. Number 10, or we'll come back to number 10 later. We'll come back to the old number 10 later because that's going to cause a Richard or two on the right-hand side. Right-hand side's hard. Greenwood's not really a natural right-sided attacker. Palestri's too young. Matter's a bit too old. Ziyech hasn't kicked a ball properly yet. It's hard. Ziyech is a very good player, but the reason I haven't put Alex Telles in this team is because we haven't seen him even kick a ball in the Prem yet. And Ziyech might have had a few minutes, but he hasn't had enough time. So we've got to go with Gunwood. We've got to go with Mason Greenwood because of what he's done so far in the Premier League and everything else around him. Greenwood on the left-hand side. Up top as striker. I want to go with Anthony Martial, but I've said I'm picking this on ability and current form combined, really, in my mind. And he's had an awful start to the season, Tony Martial. I love the geezer, but he has. So I'm going to have to put Timo Werner in that position. So Timo Werner is going to be my number 9 striker today. I've got to go with that. There's no doubt about it. Cavani, someone said, listen, I can't put Cavani in for the same reason. Not kicked a ball in the Premier League yet. On the left-hand side. To the left, everything I own. I don't know the song. I know it's something about to the left. Bit of Beyonce, bit of Queen Bee in the morning. There we go. On the left, there's only one player it can be. Only one player it can be on the left-hand side. Quite simply, Sir Marcus, I feed the children Rashford. Has to be. Think of the children. It's Marcus Rashford. He's on that left-hand side, no doubt. Pulisic is good. In fact, Pulisic is very good. Rashford is best. Marcus Rashford is an absolute phenomenon. 39 goal contributions in his last 51 games at 22 years of age, while feeding millions of children. Millions of children, bruv. Millions of children. And they're not his. Like Sir Marcus Rashi. Trust me, bruv. Gucci Wilcott. I love you, Rants. Listen, he's the guy. If you want to phone the show and tell me why I'm wrong, phone this. Don't just, deluded. You're deluded. You're deluded. You're deluded. You're deluded. All that nonsense. Come on. You're deluded, Terry. Terry's so biased. Show me the performances and the outputs, because that's what the eye test and form is. Both those things. Show me where Pulisic deserves it. It doesn't. Number 10. Listen. Perfect 10. Who we putting in 10 here, peeps? Who we putting in that 10? My wonderful, beautiful, lovely, lovely viewers. Who we putting in that 10 role here? Is it going to be Havertz? Look at this. I'm going to... Look at this comment. It's the best comment, bro. Listen. Roth_AP. I'm going to unsubscribe if you don't change this formation. I love this game. Please don't unsubscribe. If you leave me now, you'll take away the biggest part of me. Ooh, baby, please don't go. I want you to stay. Listen, bro. Suck it up. Phone the show. By the way, everyone, smash the like button for me right now. We're not going any further until you hit the like button. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Smash, 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 smash. Make sure you are subscribed and you have bell notifications turned on. And start signing up to our newsletter. My email address is in the description below. Drop us an email now. Set that up, please. We're going to be creating this newsletter very, very soon, so that we can let you know when we're going live. But number 10, I'm really sorry to say this, Kai Havertz. It can't be you. Not today. Can't be you today, man. Just can't be. Not with what Bruno Fernandes has done in the last few months in Premier League football. It's going to be Bruno Fernandes for me. So here we have here is my team. Here is my team. Do you like my... This is like Spider-Man paper as well. I had to borrow it off my son. You see it? The Spider-Man. My team, David De Gea in goal. Back four of AWB, Thiago Silva, Maguire, Chilwell. And then a midfield of Fred and Kante, followed by Greenwood on the right, Rashi on the left, Timo Werner as the striker in the middle, and Bruno Fernandes in the number 10 position. That is my personal combined 11 ahead of this mammoth game tomorrow. Going to open the Skype lines now. Get your views, get your opinions in here. We've got a comment here from Chad who says, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I have to say Fernandes. Of course you do, brother. And that's not... Me leaving out Havertz, Pulisic, Ziyech. These are not like These are not me attacking these players. It isn't me saying, oh, they're rubbish. I'm just talking about combined 11. Who would be on the subs bench? That's the big question. If we've got to do seven subs, Mendy is... I'm going to throw Mendy in as a sub goalie. I would put Hendo, but I put Mendy in. We're going to have Terrace on the bench. We're going to have Tuanzebe on the bench. We're going to have Kovacic on the bench. Pogba on the bench. Who else is on the bench? We've only got... That's 5. We've got 2 places left. For me, we're going to have Martial on the bench and Kai Havertz. That's all that can make this bench. That's the bench as well. There we go. Bench is done. Get your calls in now. Hit the like button, please. Come on, man. We're not even past 200 likes yet. Smash it for me. Smash that like button, peeps. Who would you make the captain of this team as well? That's what I'd like to put out to you all. But hit the like button, people. Really important that you get that done for us right about now. We're going to go to the Skype calls in just a moment. I know you're all eagerly anticipating this. I all know you're, oh, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen here? What's going to happen here? I know you're all eager to find out. And We're going to go to that first call in a minute. And by the way, thank you very much. I've quite a few new email addresses in from you all already for the newsletter. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Ahmed, for sending us in an email about the newsletter. Make sure you get that done. We have got, I think it's Road on the line here as a Chelsea fan. What do you want to say, mate? Oh, he bottled it. He bottled talking. Who are we going to have next? We're going to have Nikhil. We've got Nikhil D on the line. Nikhil, welcome to the Football Terrace. What are you saying?
Right, I bet. I'm a big fan of the channel.
Thank you, my bro. Thank you. What are you saying about my combined 11?
It's very good, but I think I would like to talk about tomorrow's game, especially.
You think tomorrow
I
should be in
would
the combined 11?
okay. I would take out Mason Greenwood on the right and put uh, Pulisic.
Pulisic on the right.
Yeah,
That's not a bad shout. That's a fair comment. Nikhil, thank you. I mean, what do you guys think? Pulisic on the right, take Mason Greenwood out. I wouldn't be adverse to that. In many, many ways. We've got Man Like Prime here. Prime, are you going to answer my questions or are you going to ask me? Then we don't know yet. But Prime, what would you change about my combined 11?
Yeah, just Pulisic on the right over Greenwood. Havertz and Bruno. I can definitely make the argument for Havertz. However, if
Go
you're
on
going
then.
over based
Go on
on
then.
experience, then
Make the argument, bro.
well, he's one of the top goal scoring. I know Bruno's one of the top goal scoring midfielders, but so is Havertz. They've got the same amount of goal contributions this season.
Right.
So I think if you put Havertz in over Bruno, it wouldn't be such a ridiculous thing to do. But then again, it's one of those things where you can put in either one, and it wouldn't be a massive complaint, in my opinion. I wouldn't complain with Bruno being in there. I'm just saying that you could make the case for Havertz.
No, I get that. I think, as I've said, for me, it's a form thing. I look at it isn't just this season, so I'm looking at it from a point of view of when you weigh things up with Havertz, he's brilliant. The form since he joined the Premier League of Bruno Fernandes in terms of his contributions is just next level. And like I've said, you look at my logic and rationale when it comes to not even thinking about putting in Cavani, Ziyech, and Alex Telles, who's a United player, it's because they haven't kicked balls in the Premier League yet. So based on the Havertz versus Bruno situation, Bruno has done it for longer in the Premier League than Kai Havertz. That's my only reason for that. But yeah, good shout. If people want him in, like I wouldn't cry about it. If a journalist today did it that way around, it wouldn't be the end of the world for me. On Pulisic and Mason Greenwood, it's really interesting. Last season, because this season neither have really got started yet. Pulisic 21 goal contributions across all competitions. Mason Greenwood at 18 years of age, 24 is why I've gone with Greenwood on the right-hand side over Pulisic, especially as Chelsea fans have all said that he's weaker on the right, not as effective on the right. So I would definitely do that. But Prime, my brother, thank you very much for coming on. Next up, we've got Milos. Milos is on the show. What do you want to say, brother?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you. How about yourself?
I'm calling all the way from Serbia, man. So you know all about that Vidic, Matic.
Yes, brother. That is a country that's produced some excellent football players, my bro. What do you make of my combined 11 this morning?
I didn't listen to it, but I think all in all we have for the most part better team. I'm a Chelsea fan, but I don't see how Lampard is gonna pull this off. Meaning, I think he can't make a tactic to beat West Brom or Southampton. And I know it's not black or white like that, but how to put it? Even last season, so many times we had better 11 than what our opposition had, and nobody even dared to criticize him. We lost 12 games. Put aside transfer ban, we never seen any tactics, any real formation. And for me, what I can take out of it is we never really managed to control any game, and I think that's down to lack of system. That's down to lack of well drilled team.
I understand. I understand where you're coming from there with Lampard, mate. And thank you very, very much for your call, mate. I really appreciate it all the way from Serbia this morning. Thank you. My view would be this on Lampard. That's his naivety as a manager, and that's because he is naive, because he is young, he is new to these things, and it's in-game management that needs to improve in terms of no system as such. Road Sonny is back with us now. Road Sonny, what do you want to say about my combined 11?
Yeah, good afternoon.
Hello, bro. Yeah, what you saying about my combined 11?
On your combined 11, I have one problem with Greenwood over ahead of Christian Pulisic.
What's your issue with it?
Maybe we talk about current form, probably Greenwood might have played more game than Christian Pulisic, but on all over performance.
No, bro, listen, I hear you, and thank you very much for the call. The reason that I've done what I've done is because Chelsea fans don't want him on the right, and if we're going to go on outputs, Mason Greenwood was better than him last season in that position, and Chelsea fans don't like him in that position. It's not personal. Otis Smith is now on the show. Otis Smith, what did you make of my combined 11, brother?
All right, Terry, I joined you late today, man. Sorry about that. It seems like you're right about YouTube not sending out these notifications, man, because I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning here in the United States, man, and I'm not getting your notifications that you're going live, man. I have to be like,
no, that's why we're that's why we're creating this newsletter, bro. The email address for the YouTube channel is in the description below. I've got Ram. Okay. We're going to be creating this newsletter, collating everybody's emails, of course, keeping them safe and secure, so we can send you out emails when we're going live and keep you updated, because it's becoming a joke, really. That we're growing. We grow by 50,000 subscribers over the summer, but yet there isn't any. It almost means nothing now being a subscriber unless YouTube actually lets you know when we go live. It's almost crazy. So yeah, if you go into our email address is in the link. There's a link in the description below. Send us an email. We're going to collate this newsletter so we can start letting you all know when we go live, my bro. So yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the combined 11 that I named, did you hear my combined 11?
No, actually, no.
Okay.
Because I just
so
tune in, man.
So my combined 11, 4-2-3-1, because both clubs play it regularly. De Gea in goal, left back Chilwell, centre backs of Maguire, Silva, right back to Anzeby. Holding midfield, Fred and Kante. Bruno number 10, Rashford right, Rashford left, Greenwood right, Timo Werner up front. What would you do differently?
Wan-Bissaka has to get into that team at somewhere or the other.
Yeah. No, Wan-Bissaka's right back. Yeah, he's in the right back, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He's in the right back. Okay. Yeah, definitely, man. That's a very strong team to put about it. If you really look at it as a combined team, just taking what I would take from Chelsea. The only other person I would take from Chelsea team is Kante, because he's definitely a workhorse in the middle of the pitch. So that's another guy I would want to pull from that Chelsea team and slot right there in my midfield. But that's a great starting lineup. I really do like that starting lineup. And yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to get back on the show before the game tomorrow. But I'm going for United with a 3-1 win. I think Holly has this guy Lampard's ticket, man, and I'm going in there with my confidence, man, that hey, we're taking this one home, and
I like that
home too.
I like that, bro.
We've been poor.
Yeah, well, we've got to turn that luck around. Otis, thank you for calling so early in the morning there, 4 a.m. in the States for you, my bro. Love, and I'll speak to you soon, my brother. Thank you very, very much indeed. Get those super chats in, people. Smash that button right now. Make sure you're sending in an email. The link is in the description below to sign up for the newsletter. The newsletter is being produced today. Remember, we're giving away a free Rode mic and a free HD webcam to the first set of people that sign up to this. We've got Shane 10. Shane 10 ain't been on in a while, Shane 10's a United fan. What do you make of my combined 11?
Can you hear
me? Yeah, very loud, but go for it.
The one change I would make was Terrace getting into the team. And I understand he's not played in the Premier League before, and it could be different and he might not do well, but for that same logic, I don't know why Thiago Silva's getting in, because he hasn't been there for that long.
True.
Do you understand my logic there?
No, that's really good shout. Like, that's a flaw in my logic. He has played a few games. We know how good he is. I suppose that's why. I suppose I'm putting him in to be nice. Really, I probably should have put Zuma in over him. If I'm going to pick a Chelsea player, maybe I should have put Zuma in over him. But I do hear what you're saying. But look, I think Terrace for me is better than Ben Chilwell. I was just trying to be kind because, you know, Terrace is better than Ben Chilwell and Cavani is a better striker than Timo Werner. So I think that I had to get some Chelsea players into this team. Otherwise, it would upset people, I think. Yeah. What do you make of a lot of people saying that it should be Bruno in over... Sorry, it should be Havertz in over Bruno. What's your opinion on that?
Right now, I would go with Bruno because I feel he's done more since he's been at United than Havertz has done since he's been at Chelsea. And don't get me wrong, I know Havertz hasn't been there for that long, but right now, I think Bruno has done more. And there's a question I want to ask you.
Mm-hmm.
During the PSG game, when Pogba came on, I know you said it was a 4-3-3, but for me, it was more of a diamond because Pogba played very much to the left for it to be a 4-3-3 formation. But do you think Ollie might use that formation against Chelsea?
He could do. It just depends. We tend not to play that way, but he might use it. I honestly, I can't second guess what Ollie's going to do. It'll be an interesting one. Shane, thank you very much for coming on and having your say. iTest was calling through, and the iTest on in a moment when he calls back. Where is Captain America? Captain America's in the team, Sam Tommy. Captain America is Bruno Fernandes. You don't need to be American to be Captain America. You know, Thor is Australian, and he played somebody from what country was he from? What world, planet? Not Isengard. That's from Lord of the Rings. Where's Thor's world? Why can't I remember? Asgard. There we go. Asgard, not Isengard. Asgard. I knew it was something God. There we go. So you don't need to, you know, he's not really Asgardian. He played him. So listen, slow yourself down. Captain America doesn't need to be American. It's Bruno Fernandes. iTest, phone the show back, bro. Want to get your views and your opinions. Smash the like button, by the way, people. Really important that we get that done. Indiana, man signed up, want the webcam, and go for that, bro. Yeah, keep sending me in your emails if you want to sign up to this newsletter. It's being produced from today. The newsletter is going to have articles. It's going to have a bit of a schedule for the football terrace, competitions that you can enter as well, and everything else. But you'll also get sent notifications every single time. Oh, hang on a minute. I weren't meant to answer that. iTest, phone the damn show back. Just phone longer. You don't hang on long enough for me to answer you. I need iTest on this show this morning. I want his views and I want his opinions. I never thought I'd say that, but I am saying it right now. I want you, boy. I want you back. Do. Want you back. Do. Come on, iTest. Where you at? I'm just going to call him. It's probably easier to tell, isn't it? Oh, it's not giving me an option to call him back, which is very strange. Very strange. CFC Beast is called the show. CFC Beast, what you saying?
I think this side that you've done is good. I do want to rival Kovacic for Fred. I do think, although Fred has been good in recent form, Kovacic was probably the reason why Chelsea finished in the top 4, in my opinion. We were very...
Good shout.
Kante was injured for most of the season, and having Kovacic there just to help out was very good. So I do hear what you're saying about Fred, but I do think Kovacic should be starting ahead of him.
Mate, and do you know what? That's a sensible challenge. And sometimes let me say this now. Sometimes I do say things to try and see what people's opinions are. It's a little bit of it's a word I'm looking for. It's a little bait just to see what people say. And that's a good bit of logic, my friend. CFC Beast, thank you for calling the show. iTest, call yourself back, bruv. You keep calling when other people are on, and then not when I'm sitting here for 5 minutes not doing anything, and I'm waiting for you, bro. Get yourself sorted. Calling iTest now ourselves to get him on the air. There we go. iTest is now with us. What do you make of my combined 11, bro?
Yeah, I want to address you not putting Pulisic in, because even though I'm a United fan, I'm a big fan of Pulisic, and I saw in your title you put Rashford Rashford vs Pulisic.
Yep.
And
yep.
For me, I personally say Pulisic is better than Rashford. And even on the wing, I would say he's better than Greenwood. So
if he's better than Greenwood, then why did Greenwood outperform him last year?
I don't think he outperformed him. He had more goals, but I don't believe he outperformed him.
He did.
You're talking in terms of goals.
I'm talking in terms of contributions to games. Yes.
Yeah, of course, but I don't believe Greenwood was as important for United as Pulisic was to Chelsea last season.
That's interesting. Pulisic was definitely in the second half of the season was very, very important for Chelsea, but Greenwood was hugely important for Manchester United. The amount of goals that he scored, he was so important. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. But this is the way I look at it. This is my logic. Rashford is a better football player than Pulisic from front to back. There are elements of Pulisic's game that are better. I'm not going to deny that. I think he's better at dribbling with the ball, as an example. Rashford, for me, is a better overall passer. Rashford is a better finisher, has a better strike of a ball, has more speed, has more athleticism. Those things I put in. And by the way, your physical attributes are still attributes that need to be accounted for. We saw that the other day, the importance of Tuanzebe's physicality and speed and athleticism to help us out in games. He's also outperformed Pulisic, and Pulisic can't even get into his own team on the left-hand side at the moment. Can't even get into his own team on the left-hand side over Mount. So he's not getting in.
Player. I think Pulisic is for me, he's a better dribbler. He makes better decisions. His link-up play with other players is better. And you say finishing.
When you say better decisions, Ites, how many mistakes per game does Pulisic make in terms of shooting when he should pass, overhitting passes, not finding players, running into dead ends? How often is he doing that per game in comparison to Rashford?
Well, for me, using that, when I watch the games, I see Pulisic making much more smarter decisions.
How many more smarter decisions is he making per game than Rashford? Tell me how many.
A lot more.
How many? No. Tell me how many. So how many times do you see Rashford make mistakes in comparison to Pulisic, to say he's making more mistakes? Or how many better decisions is Pulisic making? And what are the results of those better decisions?
Well, the results of those better decisions is leading to better goal scoring chances because, for example, when you're meant to link up with a player, Rashford, most of the time he shoots, but Pulisic makes the right decision most of the time. I trust him to make smarter decisions in a final third.
Okay. So what's the end result of that then? Because in the last 30 games, Man United have scored more, conceded less, won more games. So what's the supposed better decisions that he's making? What's the end result to even try and prove your point? What output is there at the end of these better decisions for the individual players? So you can't tell me how many more times per game that Pulisic is making better decisions. You can't tell me how many more mistakes Rashford is making in a game compared to Pulisic. And you can't tell me what the end results are in terms of an output that's better for Chelsea than Man United. Man United in the last 30 games have been better than Chelsea. Facts. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So what this better decision making for Pulisic, how has it helped Chelsea? Just tell me, like you watch it, you're telling me your eye test is there, but even though it's the eye test, you should still be able to explain how this better decision making is benefiting his team versus Man United. So you're telling me if we dropped Rashford, we become a better team because less mistakes. What you say? I'm trying to understand what your point is, bro.
I believe if we had Pulisic on the left, we'd be much better because so many times when I watch United, I feel like Rashford, he could have always done a better. He could have always made a better decision than what he makes. I don't believe his intelligence is top level in a final third. But Pulisic, I believe he knows when to take on a player. He knows when to link up. He knows when to shoot. That's what I mean. But like, then
why? Okay, cool. But so my view would be this then: if he knows when to shoot and then when to pass, that would dictate that he'll create more chances, he'll score more goals, he'll complete more dribbles. Because if you do it at the right times, they're going to come off, aren't they? Right? What I'm hearing you say, and I don't want to misquote you here, is that Rashford makes the wrong decision. If you make the wrong decision, then your move isn't coming off. If you shoot when you should be passing, that means you're not scoring, right? Because if you shoot and you score, it's not a mistake, is it?
Well, Pulisic was out of favour in the beginning of the season. Lampard didn't like him, so I would.
So that's not Rashford. Forget that. But that's the whole point. So his own manager didn't pick him. But that isn't what I'm saying here. If Rashford is making mistakes, in dribbling, in his creativity, and when he shoots, that would mean he's scoring less, creating less, completing more dribbles than Pulisic. Would you agree? If he's making mistakes, he can't be completing them, can he?
Yeah, look at the stats post lockdown.
No. Why post lockdown? Because if Pulisic wasn't being picked, if you're not being picked, that means you're not informed. You can't discount Rashford because that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. What are you talking about? Hang on. So if I'm not good enough to play, if my manager's not picking me, and then I start getting picked in January, I should only be compared to everybody else from January. My poor form in the first half of the season, you're going to negate that and pretend it didn't happen. Come on, eye test. You're meant to be the eye test here, bro.
It's not because he was poor. He had to convince Lampard that he's good enough because he just came into the team.
But that's Lampard not okay. But you can't discount. You cannot discount and attack Rashford for that. That makes no sense. Rashford was playing and performing.
Fairer. Look at their contributions post lockdown, because that's when Pulisic started to play more. Yeah,
right.
And he was in starting 11.
See, this is the thing.
Same with Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, I know he was. And then who performed the best?
Pulisic.
How? In what metric? What metric did he perform better in? Because how you look at this, bro, is you don't need to look at post lockdown. You look at per game, because if you didn't play, if you didn't start, it won't damage your statistics. So the way you look at it is this, right? Rashford, we'll go with last season as a full season, scored in 60% of the games that he played in. Pulisic scored in 34% of the games that he played in.
At open play goals.
No, goals are goals, bro. You can't discount somebody who is good at taking penalties because he's the best.
The thing is,
no, you can't.
Rashford's not going to take penalties no more, so these stats aren't going to be as high anymore.
Well, they are so far this season. So that isn't the point I'm making here. Stop trying to nitpick here. We're going on facts here. If Pulisic was the best penalty taker at his club and was scoring penalties, you'd count his goals. If Pulisic's the best corner taker and he gets 5 assists from corners, are you not going to count them as assists because they're from corners?
Well, let me tell you what.
Answer. You know what I do to you here? Answer my questions if you're coming on my show. If you're the best free kick taker or corner taker at your club and you get assists from it, should you discount those assists because they're not from open play? Should you or should you not? Yes or no? Answer the question. Answer the question.
Yes or no? Because you can still look at open play goals as well.
No, like, no. So if you're sorry, it doesn't make any sense. Kevin De Bruyne is an amazing free kick taker and corner taker. I don't discount his assists because without his brilliant free kicks and corners, City would score less goals. You can't take that skill away from somebody. If somebody's the best penalty taker in a team and their team wins a penalty and they score, that's something to congratulate them on. It's like, well, you might as well give it to the worst penalty taker then. It doesn't make any sense. So let's go through this. So let's just go through this. Stop talking a second. Let's go through this. You keep telling me that Pulisic is a better decision maker. So let's weigh up the facts. Here. Rashford last season scored in 60% of his games and assisted in 17% of them. Pulisic scored in 34% and assisted in 22% of his games, so higher assist rate. Okay, as an example, shots on target, 41% of the shots by Pulisic are on target, 50% of the shots from Rashford are on target. Passing accuracy for Rashford is at 81%. Passing accuracy going forward by forward passes is at 78%. For Pulisic. Long range passing, 47% for Pulisic, 53% for Marcus Rashford. Crossing accuracy. Pulisic attempts 2.5 crosses per game. Rashford attempts 2.5 crosses per game. Rashford's succession rate is 29%. Pulisic's is 26%. Dribble succession for Pulisic is at 53%. Dribble succession rate for Rashford is low. We knew it would be lower at 42%. Offensive duels 1, attacking duels 1 going forward, 40% for Pulisic, 40% for Rashford going forward. Loss of possession in attacking play. Rashford, this is through bad passing, mistakes, and decision-making. Rashford, 4.2 on average per game. Pulisic, 5.2 per game. I'm not going to nitpick on that. The statistical evidence is there that there isn't a great deal of difference. So what you need to do for me, bro, what you need to do to prove this to me with Rashford is instead of saying he makes bad decisions and Pulisic makes less, you have got to quantify that, my friend. You have got to say, I watched the game and he's doing it 7-8 times per game. And Pulisic and Mane and Mbappe, they're doing it only once or twice. And you've got to be able to not just say it, you've got to be able to show me the evidence. If you can do that for me, eye test, I will believe you that Rashford's decision-making is vastly weaker than his contemporaries. Could you do that for me?
Well, my eyes don't lie to me.
No, but they do lie to you.
Like
They do lie to you. Do you know why your eyes lie to you, bro? Do you know why your eyes lie to you? Because you ever heard the expression that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, or, you know, love is blind, right? That's how your eyes lie to you, my friend, because you're not a fan of Rashford. So you see the negatives and you see the positive less. If you're a fan of a player, you tend to see the brilliance in him. It's like your own children. Someone could have a child who's ugly and a bit of a dickhead, but they still love them and think they're beautiful, right? That's a bit like you. Your eyes and your heart lie to you all the time. All the time. You know that you've got mates that you love, friends that you love, right? But you know they're dickheads, but you love them still. That's why facts and the objective approach is important. You don't want to do the study I'm telling you to do, eye test, because you know that it might turning out that actually Rashford's only making the same amount of mistakes as everybody else. We did this with Lukaku. We did the factual evidence with Lukaku. First touches leading to a loss of possession. Lukaku loses possession half the amount of times with his first touch as compared to Harry Kane and Sergio Aguero. The first touch myth is gone. The one thing is, it's called a availability holistic. When Lukaku has a bad touch, it's comically bad. And I think Rashford's the same. When Rashford makes his mistakes, sometimes they're glaring and they're obvious and they're memorable as opposed to somebody else. But you as a Man United fan have got to remember one thing. Rashford's mistakes, let me ask you a question. Do you love Man United, I test? Do you love Man United Football Club?
I love Manchester United, man.
So listen, when you see a Rashford mistake, do you know why it feels more and you notice it more to you than, say, a rival fan? Because it hurts you more. When Rashford doesn't play the right pass and we don't score, that damages you mentally because you love Man United and want them to score. When you see a rival player do it, it doesn't matter. You're like, oh, because if Mbappe's pass is overhit and Paris Saint-Germain don't score, it doesn't impact you emotionally. You view it differently. You know, it's the same as, do I care that Aaron Wan-Bissaka was out cheating? No. Would I care if my missus was out cheating? Of course I would, because that would hurt me physically. Itest, final word from you.
Yeah, okay. My final word is that you say my eyes lie to me, but I believe the stats lie to you. Because last season, Rashford had so many bad performances, but because he was stat padding with penalties, it was overshadowed. However, since Bruno came in, he wasn't on penalties anymore, so he wasn't able to stat pad. So people saw his bad performances more because he wasn't able to overshadow the bad performances with penalties, and that will continue happening because he's no longer on penalties.
So Rashford. Hang on a sec, Itest. Don't go because you're lying. I've got you. Because this
season, okay, tell me how I'm lying.
Why? Because since Bruno Fernandes has come in, Rashford has scored in 58% of the games that he's played in on a percentage level, okay, amount of goals, and assisted actually in 18%. So his goals and assist ratio have barely dropped. There's been a few percent. We're not going to nitpick over a few percent because it's very, very close. Rashford's goal scoring ratio and his assist ratio have remained almost static since he's come in. And he, as you say, hasn't been taking the penalties, but he's still maintained that high level. Rashford's goals contribution to game ratio so far this season is excellent. 7 in 9 games, bruv. So far this season, his goal contribution levels have remained at the same rate as they were last year without the penalties. So you see how the stats are not lying to me. The stats and the facts are absolutely backing up that he's getting better and he's now not taking penalties. He's not even taking the corners and the free kicks like he used to be. But, it's adding other elements to his game. So everything you're saying, by the way, so far this season, his dribble success rate is up by 3%. His crossing succession is up by 2%. His passing is up by 4% in terms of completion. His expected goals this season is at 3.1 per game. Versus last season, it was at like 2.4 per game. Sorry, I'm a liar there. Sorry, it was 0.5 per game last season versus, let me get this right, so far this season, 0.7 so far this season across all competitions. So the metrics for Rashford are growing all the time across all areas, not just goals and assists. So eye test, then how do you explain that without taking penalties, without taking as many free kicks, without taking corners, that his creativity, his goals, his expected goals, his dribble succession, his cross succession, his pass succession are all improving?
I need to double check these stats. 58% since Bruno's come in. Nah, that doesn't feel right because everyone. I don't remember many games that he
because it's worked out against minutes played, so the percentage is then. So if you only play 60 minutes, that doesn't count as a full game. It's done per minutes that you play. Does that make sense? And I'm allowed to use that metric with you because you said I can't compare Rashford versus Christian Pulisic for games that Pulisic didn't play. So equally, I'm not going to discount Rashford for not scoring in minutes and games that he didn't play in. Is that fair? Yes or no?
Just said, look at the stats.
No. Is that fair? Because you can't say to me I can't use games where Pulisic wasn't picked or wasn't played or was injured. So I can't do the same for Rashford. So when you look at it in that basis, that's what it comes out to. That's what the metric is. I'm not sitting here lying. I'm inputting the information and Y Scout is spitting it out to me. There we go. Bro, I appreciate you coming on ITS. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. I love ITS. He is brilliant, man. He's legitimately brilliant. Like I say, it's not about being deluded. It's about looking at what I see, brother. Terry, you think United player is world-class. A lot of players are better than Rashford. I'm not saying people are not better than Rashford. I know people are better than Rashford. That isn't my point. When people call him trash, it's a different level. Terry, you need to be less biased, bro. Why are you calling a combined 11 when you want to play down other teams in each position? Well, I've picked... Who have I picked? I've picked 1, 2, 3, 4. I've picked 4 Chelsea players. It's not bad, That's not biased. That's my view. Listen, everyone who's tuned in this morning, thank you very, very much. As always, smash the like button, hit the share button, and I look forward to speaking to you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.